Hey y'all, how are you today? Today we are going to be trying a healthier recipe. Actually, it's not a recipe. Like always, I'm just kind of creating my own thing. We're going to make a lasagna with a healthier twist to it. As you can see in the background right there, I am just using regular lasagna noodles, but I am using ground chicken and I am making my own sauce. So let's get started on this. So since we are using ground chicken and I got lean, it is 8% fat. You want to have some sort of fatty ingredient, that way it doesn't dry out or get sticky. So I'm just going to use just a little bit of olive oil. That's not a lot, just maybe like a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half. And I'm going to turn my stove up to about medium heat and let this start warming up. Okay, our oil is now hot. If you can hear that, it's kind of starting to sizzle a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and put our ground chicken in here. And once again, I'm not frying it. I just want it to have some kind of fat to cook in. And I'm not going to use butter. Okay, now I'm going to season it. I've got this. This is a great chicken and pork seasoning. I use it all the time, as you can tell. And if y'all have been watching me, I usually use Cavender's, but I am out. Which, you know, it happens quite often. I should probably buy a whole bunch of it. And that was Italian seasoning. Now I'm going to add some garlic salt.
If you don't leave me alone, little one, move all the way down.
And some of that. This is probably one of my new favorite seasonings that I didn't know I had. I put it on some of the bread that I made for Easter, and I ended up loving it. I don't know why I didn't use it that often before. I'm just going to mix all this up. Okay, so now our chicken is done. I'm going to go put it in a separate bowl over here. And then next we're going to start creating and building our sauce in the same pan. And I'm not going to use all of these juices to put in my sauce. I am going to put some in the bowl with this chicken. That way it stays a little bit moist. You know, you don't want it to dry out. And you know, y'all, I said that we were going to start eating a lot healthier because most of the holidays are over. We've got one left, and that's my husband's birthday. It's on Monday. He has requested that I made my homemade spaghetti, homemade breadsticks, and he wants me to make cookie brownies. So that's going to be the one meal that I'm going to make sure, or, well, that we're going to eat that's unhealthy. Let's see if I can get all this meat out of here. And see, let me see if I can show y'all without tipping it over. There's a good amount of juice in there, but I just want a little bit. Now we're going to set our bowl to the side. Okay, now I'm going to chop up our onion. I'm probably going to use either like a whole small one or about half of a large one. Y'all, I decided I'm going to do a whole onion. I'm going to try to meal prep this. Let me step back a little bit. I used to meal prep all the time, and I kind of got out of the habit. And it was so much easier, so I didn't have to feel like I cooked all the time. So I'm going to use the whole onion, and I'm probably going to do like 5 cloves of garlic. I'm gonna get going finishing chopping this. I still have the other half to do. And then I'm going to get my garlic peeled and chopped. Here's our other half. Now I am gonna add a little bit more of this olive oil to it. That was about another tablespoon. And I am gonna turn my heat down to about a 3. And on my stove, my highest it'll go is up to a 10. So if that'll give y'all kind of an idea. Like I have it on low, but not too low. Okay. Now while this is sauteing, I'm going to start on the garlic. So now our onions are nice and translucent. Here's our garlic. This is about 5 large cloves, and it's a rough chop. Let me show you our onion. I'm gonna set you back down here. Now we're just gonna add our garlic in, and we're just gonna let it cook in there for, I don't know, about 30 seconds to a minute. Once it starts getting a certain fragrance to it, that's when you know it's time to start adding other things. Now we're going to go ahead and add in our tomato sauce. I did not have a chance to, sorry about that. I did not have a chance to can any this year, or last year, but I'm definitely going to attempt it this year. I just kind of ran out of time last year. I'm gonna turn my heat down. It's a little too hot. Okay. Add our tomato sauce. And y'all, whenever we cook dinner for my husband on Tuesday, I will be doing the same kind of recipe. This is basically my homemade spaghetti sauce recipe. Now these are my home canned tomatoes, and these are yellow varieties. They look just like peaches, don't they? Now I did pour out about 1/3 of that juice. And these are whole canned tomatoes. But as they cook, all you have to do is just break them up like that. And if you want them a little chunkier in there, leave them a little chunkier. It's all up to the person. You could probably go in with like a immersion blender and kind of mix all this in a little bit better. Now I'm going to add a jar of my bruschetta tomatoes. They turned out beautiful, but I don't eat them that often. And this is something new. I've never added them in my spaghetti sauce, so I'm only gonna add about half a jar. And I might actually blend some of this up. I don't usually do that. But since those are whole halves. My husband loves tomato sauce, but he hates tomatoes. Can y'all believe that? So, just for his sake, I'll probably blend this up a little more. Now I'm going to turn the heat up to about a 4. And I do have my tomato paste just in case if this turns out a little thin, but it's not looking like it is. See, it's a nice consistency so far. But I do think I am going to add my other can of tomatoes. Because remember, like I said, I'm trying to meal prep here. So, I am going to drain most of the liquid out of this one. I'm trying to meal prep, so I want to make sure I have enough sauce for at least 2 pans of lasagna, if not 2 and a small one. Now, I'm going to season my sauce with some more Italian seasoning. Actually, I'm going to use this side. More garlic salt. And some ground white pepper. Now I'm going to mix all of this together. Y'all, I totally forgot. These are frozen chopped bell peppers from last year, and I'm going to add these in here too. I usually add them into my spaghetti sauce. Like I said, I'm kind of all over the place today, so just bear with me. These over here in this bag are banana peppers, and I'm probably going to chop a couple of those up as well and put them in here because they have really great flavor. And I only cut them in rings, so I'm just going to cut them into like quarters and probably throw about a handful in here. And I love these, ooh, let me bring it back. These reusable Ziplocs, I use them all the time for freezing my produce like that. Chopped tomatoes, bell peppers, peppers, whatever. They're great. I will put my Amazon affiliate link in the description for those. I highly recommend using them. They are dishwasher safe and everything. They just make my life a whole lot easier. And it's cheaper in the long run than having to buy Ziplocs over and over again. So here's about 3/4 of a cup of banana peppers. Just throw them in here. Now we're gonna let everything simmer and get all tasty and flavorful. Then we will be right back. Now I just tasted our sauce. It's been simmering for a few minutes. And I am gonna add some pink Himalayan salt. I just feel like it needs a little bit more of that salty flavor. Now it is looking a little bit liquidy, so I'm contemplating I might just add that little can of tomato paste. Let's add it. Just gonna use my butter knife here. Just kind of scoop it in. Now I am gonna taste it again after this cooks in because now that tomato flavor is gonna be enhanced even more. So I may want to add a little more salt or a little more pepper. But maybe not. We'll just have to see. And this is a good amount of sauce. We only did about 2.5 pounds of chicken. So it's gonna be really saucy lasagna. Alright y'all, I just tried it and it is almost perfect. I am just gonna add a little bit more of that white pepper just to give it some more of that warmth. And then we're going to add our chicken to this and scoot it over to the side, and then we're going to make our cheese mixture. Ouch. I gotta turn that heat down a little bit. Alright right, I just tasted it. It tastes perfect. Now we're gonna add our chicken to this. Stir it in, get it all coated. Now I have a 32-ounce container of ricotta. And I'm putting the whole thing in here. I'm using the same bowl I had the chicken in. Less dishes. Okay, let me get a spoon. So I just rinsed off the spoon that I used in the sauce. And that's fine because remember y'all, it's all going the same layered pasta. I'm putting the rest of the mozzarella cheese that I have in here. It's about, probably not even an eighth of a cup. The rest of this bag of shredded Parmesan, it's about half a cup. Probably a good handful of this Parmesan, that's about a cup. Yes, sugar.
I don't know why it doesn't work.
Hang on just a minute. And some of this Italian style cheese blend. Just gonna get this all good and mixed up now. And I have seen a couple of recipes where they put eggs in their cheese blend. So I think I might put 3 eggs in here. And just see what difference that makes, because I haven't done that. But, let's test it out. And these eggs are my mother-in-law's, and they're just so pretty. Woo! If anyone else has put eggs in their cheese blend for their lasagna, comment below and let me know if you like it or if you've tried it, if it's something you'd rather not do. Let me know. I do like the consistency more now. Seems like it's gonna make it easier to spread onto the top of my noodles. So now we've got our cheese blend ready, our sauce is ready. I'm using my oven ready lasagna noodles. So now all we have to do is just put this together. I'm gonna spray the bottom of my pan really good. Let me move this back for just a minute. And I'm going to use the spoon. And I'm going to just spoon my sauce mixture onto the bottom first. Just enough to coat it. Okay. Now we're going to do a layer of our noodles. And y'all, I don't think I told y'all this yet, but my oven is preheated to 375. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. Now we're going to do a layer of our ricotta. noodles. Our sauce. Right, here is one pan. Now we're gonna top it with some more of our Italian style cheese. Usually right now I would top it with mozzarella. All right, so we have one done. I'm gonna do 2 more, and we're going to wrap these really tight in foil and get them in the oven and bake for about 20 minutes, and we'll be back. All right, y'all, I've got all 3 of these out of the oven. Let's lift the foil and see what they look like. We've got 1, 2, and then this one was the last one when I ran out of ingredients, but that's all right. And 3, don't they look good? That's it for today. I'll catch you next time. Y'all have a good evening.